good morning, Florida Vacation Network. Welcome to another wonderful day here in Florida, coming to you from studio today. I'm Rob, and Chris is right there. There he is. Good morning.
Hi.
Oh, I can hear you.
Good. That helps.
And you sound great. You sound just beautiful.
Thank you. You have a buttery voice yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. By the way, today marks the first day of preparations for the studio.
Oh, perfect. Loving it.
So yesterday we ran to IKEA and bought a small desk, and we also ordered a big shelving unit, which they did not have in stock, and so it won't be here for like 10 more days. So my background's going to be super weak sauce for a while, but
Okay.
I wanted to get a new one because I'm using all the other ones everywhere we have so much stuff to display, so it was just time to get a new one.
Yes, you have a little bit of stuff. I thought I had a little bit of stuff.
I'm currently building the Lego Coliseum, which is a monster. So yeah, that's I don't know where I'm gonna put that thing.
I can't wait. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I can't wait to see where you actually put that.
Yeah, me too. Mary too. Oh my gosh. Did you have a good day yesterday?
Oh my goodness. I have some pictures. I'm trying to get them organized. I was gonna put them in the slideshow this morning. But I had a little technical difficulties because I don't know if you know, but iPhone format, the HEIC doesn't it doesn't communicate with anything else in the world.
Oh,
So
that's easy.
So I have to convert those, which it doesn't take a lot, but when you want to just throw them on the computer and slam them into a presentation, yeah, it doesn't work that well. Good morning, Susan. Hey, yeah, welcome.
Hey, Susan.
I love it.
Oh, and I picked up another monitor too.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so that'll help. So we
You
can actually
might have a couple like me.
get this going.
Yeah, we gotta get that plugged in. Eventually, I'll get you some equipment. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, so Anne flew back to Idaho yesterday. Everything went well. Actually, it went really well. She doesn't get around real easy, and so we had to figure out how to get her and her bags to the plane. And so over at Terminal B, there's those guys outside, and most people just walk right past them. But
Yeah.
you can just check your bags right there at the curb, and they have a wheelchair. And so we tipped the guy that took the luggage, and we tipped the guy that took the mother-in-law, and she was at the gate in like 35 minutes.
Nice.
Yep. So that was very smooth and easy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So now it's I don't know, it's a little weird. She's been here since November, and today's the first morning she's not here. So
A little quiet today.
yeah. Yeah, Mary's in the office working on work, and yeah, here we are.
Well, it's a little quiet here too. Right after our show on Monday, Melanie texted me. She's like, "Can I go to DC?" I'm like, "All right." I mean, I didn't know any details, and she's like, "All right, I'm booking a flight." She flew out Monday night.
Really?
Yeah, she
That's
headed to
awesome.
DC, um, which which left me in a bind because I I had to do Roundup Rodeo all by myself last night, and
Oh, you poor thing.
let me tell you, it was a task. I think my waitress, like, towards the end, was like, "Who is this guy?" I felt like, here's what I felt like. In Ratatouille, when the, food critic comes in and he's sitting at the table all by himself, and yeah, that's how I felt last night. Like, I'm all by
Did you
myself.
ha did you have the judgy eyebrows and kind of look down at your notes at everybody?
I did. I took some notes. Actually, I'll be bringing those notes up here in a little bit. We'll talk about the different stuff as I can get them into as I can get them into into the presentation because I have the pictures now. I just need to slap them in there. So,
Cool.
um, we'll definitely be talking about little Woody's roundup because it was kind of fun.
Don't ever say little woodies.
No, not little Woody's. It's
No. um, so I know generally we start out on weather. It's raining here. Is it raining by you?
uh, nope, nope.
Yeah, it's breezy, rainy, cool.
I mean,
It's
you
not
live
great.
in a totally different part of Florida, so
Yeah. So, so check this out. So we're both about a half an hour from Disney, but somehow it's an hour and a half from one house to the other.
it's
The math doesn't work,
ridiculous.
but it's but that's what it is.
I don't even understand.
Yeah, I don't
Ugh,
know.
yeah. I don't know why it takes so long to get down there.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be faster if we went to Disney, rode a coaster, and then went to your house instead of just going directly to your house. I don't know how
Right.
that works, but
Well,
that's how it is.
I actually think it's way faster for you to just come up here. So
Yeah, but see, now we got to work on the studio, so I can't
oh,
bring that,
yeah, alright,
unfortunately.
I guess I'll bounce down there. I did have the weather pulled up here. Um, I was thinking, uh, here we go. It's coming. I don't know what happened to my little, my format changed on my weather, which is weird, but,
Yeah.
um,
Well, is it better or worse?
no, I don't like it. It doesn't give me um, doesn't give me, like, the day throughout. I don't know. I'll try to figure it out, but, I'll get us a slide up here in just a second of actually what the weather is right now. Um,
Well, let's see. Uh,
I knew that was gonna happen.
that's the weather right now. Not very sunshiny.
Mm,
Maybe that's how we could do our weather from now on. Just open the
just look
blinds,
out the window.
like and then feel the glass. Yeah, it's like 72.
It's beautiful out. Oh, yeah, it has been, it's been a little, like, sprinkly and rainy. I realized that, I need windshield wipers.
Oh,
Yeah, I haven't had to use them so long, and, I turned them on the other day, and there's, like, pieces that are hanging
it's
off.
probably melted to the windshield.
Yeah.
Susan, I wish there were freeways and tollways. He's got them up on his end, but I don't have any between me and Disney. We have like 2 to 3 lane roads that have a stoplight every 40 feet, and each stoplight is red for about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
live in the forgotten part of Florida that they forgot we could possibly use maybe a tollway.
yeah, I mean, here's the thing, tolls are something I love to hate. Um, I think my toll bill is about ridiculous, like, how many tolls, um, we go on.
Yeah,
It's like, "Oh my gosh."
we just we prepay $10 at a time, and Mary texts me very often because I go to the airport a lot, and people are in a hurry, so I always take tollways when I'm driving people, and yeah, we rip through that stuff real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, it does not take long.
No, but those are the only roads that actually move.
Yep. Okay. Alright, and
Look at this. It's happening. Nope. I'm excited to talk about that picture I sent you today.
I'm excited too because I have no idea what's going on. There's our weather, by the way, and, that is the most current radar, picture on the right here, so that's not, the one that we've been staring at for 2 weeks. We actually do have some rain in the air, some storms rolling through. Looks like, Miami and that down there, Cape, um, Coral, I think is that right?
Sure.
Cape Coral. Yeah, they're getting some rain right now, so We'll see. We might get some this afternoon, which has been kinda nice. I don't know if it's just been, like, the dust is washed off of everything, or is it really, like, plants are greening up, but everywhere I go, it's like there's a new color green out there.
Yeah, yesterday I was in the front lawn, doing chest compressions, trying to bring it back, but I think it's gone. It's pretty rough up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
No, we need it.
if you have that St. Augustine, it'll come back. It's for sure, it'll come back. That's pretty hardy grass.
Yeah, and when it dies, it'll cut right through your foot like a steak knife.
Yeah, that's true too. It's not, I grew up in the Northwest, and our grass up there is soft and posh and just beautiful. Um,
Yeah,
I'm not
ours
saying
is like
anything nice about the Northwest right now. I mean, I moved from there. But
yeah.
the grass was really nice. The grass was beautiful. You could go out, you could lay in the grass, and, but when I moved to Texas, it was like, "Nope, make sure you have your shoes on."
Yep, that's how it is here. Our grass is razor blades full of snakes.
Oh, have you seen the snakes?
Oh man, I walked up on one on my driveway the other day.
Did
It was
you
just
really?
a big black racer, like maybe 5 footer, just coiled up between my truck and trailer.
What? You didn't tell me that.
Mhm. Yeah, and I was walking, and it startled me, and I ran back in the house and I said, "Mary, come look at this," and we went back out there, and he was gone. And I'm like, "Oh
Oh,
no, now I don't know where he is." And then I saw his head poke up in the lawn, and he took off to the neighbor's house. So hopefully that he lives there now because I don't need him. I'm good without that.
we had one now, I mean, knock on wood, we had one that tried to get in the house, like, shortly after we moved in. Um, I don't where was I? I might have been here in the office, and there was some shrieking out in the living room, and yeah, so I think Trace had gone to take the garbage out, and he was like, "Mom, come see this," and there was a snake that had, like, laid on on the threshold of the doorway, so when, he opened it up, like, startled the snake, and then it for some reason, instead of trying to go out towards the lawn, it tried to come in the door. Well, then they they kind of gently, if Pete is watching, is that no animals were harmed in the making of this, so, they gently, like, held it, squeezed it in the doorway so that it would stop moving. And then, I didn't know what kind of snake it was at the moment, and it was just like a little baby.
uh,
So I'm not gonna first of all, I don't like snakes, so I wouldn't have reached down and grabbed it anyway. So I'm getting a broom and I'm trying to, like, manipulate it to go outside, but, it did pause for a little bit, so I took a picture and, you know, I'll tell you, I used to be like for okay, I'm going off on a tangent here. I remember as a kid grabbing snakes and bringing them up to my mother. Now,
uh-huh.
my mother is deathly afraid of snakes,
Mine too.
and I think somehow that transferred to me somewhere in my teen years. Like, I used to grab now in Oregon, you don't have to worry about it because the snakes you find there are just little garter snakes. They're not any way, shape, or form poisonous or whatever. We don't have those in at least in the Portland area. If you go eastern or southern Oregon, you got rattlesnakes and stuff, but um, we didn't have any crazy snakes. So, but at some point, I got a fear of snakes, and then like I, it was like an unhealthy fear of snakes.
Yep.
But so between my son is now 22, um, and he watched a ton of Animal Planet when he was little, and then and then just a couple years ago, a buddy of mine turned me on to this Facebook group, and it's like Texas snake identification. So I see snakes on Facebook every time I open it up. There's somebody
Yeah.
spots a snake. What is this? Um, So all of that to be said is that I now have a healthy respect for snakes. I wouldn't say a fear. I do watch out for them, especially at certain times of the year. Right now, being one of them, because I know, this is kind of the time of the year where the copperheads will start coming out.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I mean, we have quite a bit of snakes here in Florida that are harmful,
Yeah,
venomous.
um, a few months ago when I was still working for the propane company, I took a break at the edge of a lake. There was a park, and they have those like roof areas over a picnic table where it's just the four smooth legs and then a roof over the top. So I'm standing under there just relaxing for a minute, looking at the lake, and I heard something, and I looked up, and above me, like 2 feet above my head, is a big snake coiled up in the roof. I don't know how it got up that smooth post, but I like freaked out, got out of there, and then I snuck back over and took a picture so that I could search it. And it was I forget, it was something rat snake, but when I read it,
Yep.
my brain said rattlesnake, and I like called Mary and I'm like, "There's a rattlesnake about it." And so I sent her the picture of like the Google picture that I found, and she's like, "That says rat snake," and I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah. Rat snakes are climbers. Anytime you have a snake that's going up a wall or it has gotten up high,
Uh-huh.
good chance it's a rat snake because they
Yeah, I'm
somehow
good.
they can climb up slick walls. I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
so now I'm not safe anywhere. I have to look down and up. I didn't know that.
well, no, you don't have to look up because if they're up there, then they're safe. They're good snakes. They take care of rodents.
Okay. Well, I'll thank him next time as I'm running away.
I we're off on this snake thing. I was a
Oh boy.
senior in high school, and I had my landscaping company, and I was doing and again, this is in Portland area, right? Okay. I was doing some weeding. I was weeding in a bed and in a flower bed, and this snake crawled right between my legs. Like came from behind me and like right between my leg. I'm crouched down, I'm like
Hmm.
squatted down and I ran and screamed like a little girl.
That might have been the changing point in your life where you went from not fearing them to fearing them because they were near the biscuits. That's possible.
May maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
I I don't know, but I kinda like them. Like, I'm not gonna have one as a pet, but, there's a lot of beautiful snakes out there. Beautiful
Oh yeah.
snakes.
I disagree completely, but yeah.
Oh, I gotta get focused here. Let's get focused. Um,
Yeah. Oh, you're moving the pictures in?
well, I was trying to find that picture that you
Oh,
you
that I
sent
sent you?
me. Uh, where did I let's see. Let me see if I
Yeah, I
moved.
want to talk about this because it's an important one, I think. Because I saw it on I want to say WDW News this morning.
On the WDW.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, it's not
Bear with us. Please hold.
there.
Your show quality is important to us.
Now would be a good time actually. While you while I'm a oh no, I can't do that. You know what? It would be good actually if you were to bring up the slideshow on your end. Because you're gonna can you do that?
Oh,
You can't. No.
I don't have the other monitor.
Oh, all right. Well,
Yeah.
we'll get that remedied for next week.
Oh yeah, that's the whole plan. Hopefully, I'll have that remedied for Friday.
Maybe Friday, yeah,
I wish I had some knock knock jokes or something.
or something. I
Yeah.
don't I don't have a clue where I put that.
Well, I sent it to you 2 ways.
I know, and let's see. All right. We're, Let's we're just gonna re-download them.
All right.
I'm gonna bring him right down here. There he goes. Okay. We're cooking with gas now.
It's coming.
All
Everybody's
right.
on the edge of their seat, wondering what we're going to talk about.
Like what?
Did you see the thumbnail picture I put up today? We could talk about that in the meantime.
Oh, we could?
Yeah.
Uh,
So, I
we
mean,
you
if
can
you're,
talk about it. I don't know that I saw it.
I didn't see it in person, but I got that.
Oh, so what tell me about this thumbnail picture.
It's the 100th sign was put up in front of the train station.
Oh, what hey, that just happens to be what picture's right here.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, and it just says 100. But I like it. It's different. I was expecting like a medallion like it was before, just with 100, and it's a totally different style. So I like that.
That is interesting. So that was the thumbnail you used today, huh?
Yeah,
I like it. So we should probably talk about the 100 today, I guess.
yeah.
All right, I'm
Oh, I
almost
see
there.
it.
It's almost there. One more adjustment. Almost there.
I see it. One more click to the
Almost
left.
there.
There it is. Oh,
All right. Well, oh, let me. I need to throw before we do that. All right. Um, this is great. Thanks. I love it when people come in and they just hang out with us. And
yeah.
I'm gonna leave this one just like that. All right. So here is the here's the 100th deal. Yeah.
I like it.
So
And the flowers are all nice and fresh and purple like they should be, and I really like it. I hope that this is going to be a lot of places because I like the design. I like how the zeros are tied to each other like that. It's simple, but it's classy looking. I like it.
yeah, I like it too. I like the chrome. I don't know why, but I like the chrome look better than the gold.
Me too, very
No,
much. Yeah, that's
yeah,
good.
the chrome and purple I think are going to be my favorite color schemes. Um,
Yep.
uh,
And I really think so. This is, I mean, this looks like the pace it's going to be for the 100th. It's going to be every few days something pops up until they get it all out there.
see, that would be kind of cool. And keeping it fresh, keeping it real as they're moving through the 100th. I like that idea. Um,
Yep. Take your time, do each thing right, and we get a little unveil all the time. Something to
yeah,
talk about.
it'll be interesting to see like some what the celebration's gonna be, because I've talked about this before, but, the 50th celebration was very lackluster
Yep.
in my opinion. I mean, I'm sure you have the exact opposite opinion. You probably absolutely loved it, and you're just
It was fantastic.
but, no, it was just lackluster. It was like, and it was drawn out, like, for for real. Like, the 100th celebration should be the 18-month big celebration because it's
Yes.
company wide, right? It's the creation of the Disney company, right?
Right.
The 50th celebration of Walt Disney World, I don't know that it needed to be 18 months. I don't think that it was planned out to where it gave you another big release. Like, there was nothing to freshen it up. It's like they threw out mediocrity in the beginning and they rode that mini wave for 18 freaking months.
Yeah, the one thing though that I'll give them credit for is the 50th gave us the prettiest castle we've ever had. They did a phenomenal job.
That is that is 100%. That I agree with that. That is the only thing that I can think of that I absolutely that I loved for the 50th. I mean, everything else was very why?
Have we seen the Mickey and Minnie 100th outfits yet? Has that been released? Have they been out in those yet?
I have not seen them, in character, like, on the streets, like, I haven't seen them out. I mean, obviously, they have the plushes, and then you're collecting the more oh, excuse me, I don't mean to yawn. You're collecting like, the plastic figures, right?
I got the Mickey and Minnie. Yeah, I just want to see the characters in the park in those because it's going to be phenomenal. I think those are going to be really good. I like the ones with the confetti on them that they had, and those were really cute too. But the purple and silver is going to be, I think, really good.
We'll have to be on the lookout, um, and, uh, get some get some footage of that.
Yeah,
O
yeah, that'll be a good short when those come out. There it is.
okay. So, I mean, not kind of a weird transition there, but,
Well, yeah, I know how to make that transition. I'm really excited for the 100th monorail to be unveiled. Speaking of monorails,
speaking of
all
monorails.
right, so this was in Walt Disney World News today. So this is column 212. So column 212, this is the monorail track.
Okay.
This particular post is the one that's right over by Nemo and Friends, right by the pathway over there. I noticed this a couple months ago, um, but it is what it is. So now they're talking about it. So you see all those cracks,
Yeah.
right? Um, so now, mind you, I am not trying to scare anybody. Do not stop riding the monorail because there's cracks. So I want to explain this a little bit so that
Oh,
people
you saw it
understand
months ago
construction.
and didn't
Yes.
even bother to tell me about it, and I
Yeah. No. Um, so the cracks alone are no big deal. The thing I want to talk about, so I mean, cracks do happen, but the fact that it's been like this for months. Now, granted, where this post is one of two pathways into Epcot because of the construction. So
oh,
to close that off to work on this right now would be absolutely insane. But here's the point. Um, Number one, how many of them are like this? Because this one's right in a pathway where people can see it super easy. There's a lot of them that are just out where nobody, uh, no civilians can see up close what they look like. But the fact that they didn't seal this is what makes me a little bit nervous because cracks are one thing, that's fine. But we live in Florida and it rains a lot all summer long. And
right.
so once you have a crack like that, that allows water to leach in. Once water leaches in, it actually reaches the rebar, and that's when the problem happens. Because when the
Mm,
rebar starts to rust, it expands, which starts popping chunks of concrete off. So that's the next step. That if this goes untreated, you're going to start seeing chunks flaking off because the pressure by that expanding rebar in there will start to cause major problems. Right now, this is not a structural issue whatsoever. This thing is, number one, the kind of concrete they use for these is not your average sidewalk stuff. This is really dense, incredible stuff, which is why it's so expensive to do a mile of monorail track. That's why we have a Skyliner now instead of expanded on the
right, right.
expanding the monorail. But they do need to have, I can't believe that they don't have somebody walking this once a month, walk the track. There's not that much track to find this stuff to seal it up and keep the moisture out of there. If you uh, concrete, even though it's really, really rigid, it does move a little bit, and those monorails are not light. Um, but I don't know. I think hopefully
Well,
this
here's
is
here's
part
my
of the,
question 'cause, you obviously brought this in this morning and I didn't even know about it,
yeah,
but, did you take this picture?
no,
So you found this picture on WDW that's talking about it now?
yes.
Got it. Okay, so this is now something that's come out that somebody said, "Oh, we don't have anything else to talk about, so let's use some fear mongering to get some views." I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about it mostly is so that people aren't scared to ride the monorail. There is absolutely no structural issue here, but it leads to things, and this is kind of proof of the lack of maintenance on infrastructure that in the last 3 years has been a problem.
Yeah.
That um, the parking lots were getting potholes. No, I was at SeaWorld yesterday, and their parking lot is terrible. It needs to be complete. I mean, you don't really notice until it rains, but the thing is just puddle after puddle because it's all, but we're talking about Disney here, and Disney is always, the one that everybody looks up to. So
Yeah.
it's just one of those things that I hope they get on it quick, because if it goes to a point where it becomes structural, how long? I mean, that's a huge money if you need to rebuild a section, of the track, and then once you rebuild it, you'll always see the fresh concrete, and
Yeah.
so it will always stand up and look like, yeah, there was a problem there. So I mean, like, let's get on it. Let's seal this thing up, stop talking about it, and keep it protected.
Yeah, I have to go watch his report. But you touched I mean, you said it, one of the things that I've noticed in Disney in the last few years, um, is just that lack of attention. I mean, Melanie and I, we got off the ferry, um, at Magic Kingdom the other day, and we're walking up, and I was amazed by just the weeds that were growing up, right?
Yeah,
Kind of on the edge of the pathway, and I'm thinking, I mean, come on, Disney, I will work, I just need a measly give me $100,000 a year, that's all I want. So,
that's fair.
I mean, I just need to, be able to pay my bills. I need $100,000 a year, and my job, is going to be to walk around and take pictures, notes, and find the person that is responsible for taking care of those things and making sure that they get on that whenever it can be gotten on. Like, if it's something that they can do during the day when there's guests there, then they need to be on that. If it's
Right,
something that needs to be done during the night when there's no guests, then they need to get on it. But there's got to be a system in place better than what there is. And I'm not saying Disney doesn't have a system. Like, I know there's a ton of people that, work throughout the night to make sure that the park is, clean and ready to go for the morning, but it's these little details
yeah.
that I think matter, I think somebody had said it, I can't remember where I saw it. But it's like, you've got these other parks like SeaWorld, like, Knott's Berry Farm, those kind of things. And they're not as known for being Walt approved.
Right.
There's a reason that the trash cans throughout Disneyland are what, 30 feet apart or something like that?
Paces.
30 paces, because that is the amount of time that somebody will carry a piece of garbage before they throw it on the ground.
Yep.
And the problem now, here's where the real problem is, and I wish I had camera rolling, because I seriously would have blown this person up.
Oh no.
I We were walking in the parking lot, um, the other day, and the person in front of me opens up their little dum dum, or their sucker, or whatever it was.
Uh-huh.
They literally threw the wrapper on the ground.
Yeah.
That right there is a translation of what they're feeling in the place they are. If you up your game and you make it, you make the establishment above, right? It,
Hmm.
it causes the patrons to rise to that, I think.
Right. Which is, like why certain fancy restaurants have a dress code. It's the same thing. It puts you in a mindset where you act a certain way when you're there.
Right.
I totally agree with that. And I've seen it a ton. I mean, so much like I was walking behind somebody that walked out of a gift shop, and they had bought a cell phone case that comes in one of those big plastic, like packaging. And
Right.
he just cracked it open and just instantly dropped it on the ground. And I mean, I picked it up and threw it away, but like, who raised you? Like, that's not
Right.
just like a wrapper. That's like a big thing, like, oh, man. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, complacency breeds complacency. Like, if it looks like the people don't care that work there, and it's not everywhere, and and don't get me wrong, 90%, 99% of the cast members love what they do and where they are and go above and beyond and pixie dust people. And I am not saying anything like that whatsoever. But this
Yeah.
is not the Disney that we're all raised by.
I feel like it's on the mend. I really do.
It is. I do
Um,
too.
yeah, 4 months ago, um, 4 months ago, I w I mean, Disney's not gonna go anywhere, but I was worried about the image of Disney, like, um, when we first moved down here, and I think that it was, I think it's a combination of things. I think it's generational, for sure,
Hmm.
and, I think that and I hate sounding like the old guy, right?
Well, then
I'm
don't.
I'm getting to that age where, it's like, oh, these whippersnappers.
Oh yeah, no, I feel the same way.
Um,
Get off my lawn.
right? But I mean, I'm looking at the work ethic of kids these days, and kids. I'm gonna lump in the 20 somethings, with maybe younger kids, and I just don't feel that they have that same work ethic that we had. When I go to work, like I'm a when I was working, I don't do that anymore, but when I was working for Universal and driving the boat, right? My job was to drive the boat, right?
Yeah.
And so, I clock in, I go to the dock, I get on a boat, and I take people back and forth from a resort. That is my job.
Yep.
There's custodial people that work for Universal. There's a whole group of them, park services. So when I'm in between the time clock and the boat dock and I see something on the ground, that's not my job,
Right.
but I pick it up and throw it in the garbage,
Yep.
right? I'm not a guest services per se person. I mean, we were all in the service industry, so we had our guests, but when I'm again between the time clock and the boat dock, a guest looks lost, I reach out and I'm like, "Hey, is there something I can help you with?" Right?
Yep.
But that's like I think that's our generation and maybe the end of our generation, or ended with our generation of that kind of go above and beyond. Like now it's like,
So
oh, that's not my job. So I'm just gonna look at that piece of garbage that's on the ground. I'm gonna stand right here and see if it goes in the garbage by itself.
right. So I have a theory. I know where we can place blame for work ethic. It all
On
comes down
us?
to the no, it comes down to the newspaper industry. It's the fault of people that stopped reading newspapers, and the reason for that is if you grew up and you were never 12 years old and had a paper route in a winter area on Sunday morning at 4 in the morning, and you have to deliver 300 3-inch thick Sunday papers in a snowstorm, that's where it all starts. That's
Okay.
where you get your work ethic because everything after that is easy.
Yeah.
So it's newspaper fault. I mean that's yeah.
I agree. I agree. No, I mean, we were bred differently. I mean, I told you last time, I grew up on the carnival and you know, we man, I'll tell you what, I worked a lot um for a little.
Uh-huh.
But it wasn't about the money, I mean, I was building character and figuring out how to work in the work field.
I mean, that is what starts it though. I mean, when you're 12 years old and you get a paper route, it's the most exciting thing in the world. It's a lot of work but we delivered we had two newspapers, one in the morning and one in the evening in Milwaukee, and eventually they joined together. But when you're 12 years old and you pull down 50 bucks a week at 12 back in the 80s, you're rich.
That's solid.
Yeah. It was, I mean, we had multiple routes though. I mean, we were yeah, busting our butts, but that's what drove us.
Yeah.
But anyway, we can get off of whippersnappers. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, I did want to talk about that though because that kind of is a poster up on right in everybody's face. That's kind of showing the state of things right now, and You know, what was the number that Iger said for that's going to be guaranteed to go into the parks? Was it 17 billion?
17 billion, which, I mean, I have my own little, theory on that, but
Uh, I mean, if that's the case, that's a lot. I mean, the what did I know this is, 20 years old, but Everest was when it was built was the most expensive coaster ever built. I never saw any figures on like Cosmic Rewind or Tron. I mean, Tron must have been like $40 billion by itself. I mean, when you have to employ people for 4 years, the price tag really shoots up. But $17 billion in the parks. I mean, now that's not necessarily worldwide because they don't own Tokyo Disney. They don't. You're no wait. They own Tokyo, but they don't own the ones in China, right?
one of them,
Shanghai.
Shanghai, I think, yeah.
But so I mean, but I don't even know if that was a worldwide figure or if that was a U.S. figure. I'll have to look into that. Um, it's either way. It's a huge number.
Yeah, um, I mean, I don't have 17 billion.
That would build multiple epic universes. So what are they all adding? That's what I want to know. When is
Well, that
D23?
you know
Because
what, I
we
might
need
have
to
to look.
go.
I'm gonna look that up real quick. Let's see, cost of Epic Universe. See if see. Okay, so I think that we have our answer. Um, so the estimated cost of Epic Universe is $1 billion plus.
So you can build 17, 15 epic universes with the amount of money they're going to put into the Disney properties. That's crazy. I mean, so that has to be at minimum a fifth park,
You're
multiple
right.
resorts, and upgrades in everything.
And Texas, I think Texas is honestly, I think Texas is in there too.
You think so? That'd be
Well,
cool.
over the how much? Over the next 10 years?
I think so. But that's not that long for that
No.
much money. I mean, and honestly, if they did something in Texas, it would thin these parks a bit, especially in the very beginning.
Yeah, um, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I mean, I think people are gonna go, but, I always when I look at marketing, when I look at, when I look at, the way businesses are run, right?
Uh-huh.
I always go back to the CVS Walgreens theory. Drive around. There is a CVS across the street from a Walgreens
Same with
and
Home Depot and Lowe's. It's the same. Yeah.
Home Depot and Lowe's. So, it's kinda like, the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come, but people are still gonna go to the other place too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and it depends, it depends on, the, it depends on what that park's gonna be in Texas. I mean, Florida is the destination for Europe. Like, I am amazed at how many people from Europe are in the parks every day.
Specifically UK.
Specifically UK, yeah. I mean, I didn't know that island was that big. I mean,
Right.
I really feel like I have seen and interacted with every single person from, England.
Yeah. Like if you're all here, who's over there?
Yeah, right? There who's tending to the island? Um, yeah. Oh, what, piece of popcorn and just, what was that? Take something and sweep it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I look at that, I walk down the main street and wonder, "Is somebody gonna pick that up? Is somebody" "Nope, okay, yeah."
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I so and the thing right now is the perfect time to do it because, um, we're not at 100% capacity. We're not at 100% back to travel yet. So if they were to throw in this fifth gate, if they were to throw in, another park in the middle of the United States, I think everything's just gonna flow right in there. That's
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah,
thought.
because then Universal will be on the next flight on the way over there, and so will Busch Gardens and SeaWorld, and it'll become a destination area over there.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Universal's already announced. They
oh,
already have.
really?
Yeah, that's the whole thing about the Texas deal is that Universal already announced their park. They've already had the controversy in Texas where, the neighborhood, the homeowners association or whatever have already, like, fought against the permits, and the people lost. So Universal is moving forward with a new park in, just west of Dallas, I think it is. Um, so I
Wow.
can't I can't there is no there's nothing that will, like, convince me that Disney doesn't already have something in the works, because there's no way that Disney, because this has been a talk for a long time. Um, I actually had, like, a little inside conversation about a year and a half ago, and there was Disney execs that were meeting in Texas.
Really?
So, I think that this is all coming full circle, and I think that it's all timed. Everything is very well, strategically placed, and there's gonna be a park in Texas, guaranteed. It's gotta come,
I hope so. And I'm gonna go check it out. I mean, you have to. It's Disney.
right?
Yeah. I would assume they're gonna start with a castle park and
Possibly.
probably go from there. I mean, you basically always start with a castle park, right? I mean, that's
I mean, you would think now the park that was imagined for the Texas area, and when we're talking, I mean, if you go back, you can YouTube it, because back in the late '80s and '90s, there was, well, in the '80s. So let's even back up further. So before Walt died, when he was looking for property, Texas was one of the places that he was looking.
yes.
And so, you know, Walt Disney World could be very different, if the pricing of land was different. So he ends up getting the land here, in Florida, and it could have been in Texas. But then in the '80s again, and we go back to my buddy Eisner, um, that I talk about way too much, I think. Um, but again started kind of flirting with the idea of putting a park in, um, in Texas.
Yeah. I mean,
Wi-
when I talked to Mike and he asked me to call him Mike, um, he said that he would let me know as soon as he finalizes anything, and I haven't heard yet, but
Yeah.
I trust Mike. He'll let me know.
Okay. Well, as soon as he lets you know, then we'll report it over here.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah. No, but yeah, there's absolutely, I mean, I've been wrong, I think, once, in my life. There was that one time I admitted it. Melanie was right, I was wrong, but it was just that once. Um, but, I mean, if Universal is already talking, they've already made it public that they've got a park, Disney's gotta have something in the hopper.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so. So really, do you know when the next D23 is? And we really need to be there because that's going to be all of the news. That's going to be all the announcements, everything that's cooking right now, or even being floated as an idea. D23 is the place for what's really coming and what they're thinking about. I mean,
Right.
I'm so excited because I think the next one's here.
Really? Now
Yeah.
I didn't so this is not like the every 2-year event that they do?
No, I think it is, but I think it's I don't know.
Oh,
Somebody said that the next one is here.
really?
Yeah. So again, we can fill this whole show with things we're not sure about, but we yeah, I'll look into that before Friday so that we can figure that out. Because if it is coming soon and it is coming here, we need to get tickets to that no matter what. I
Yeah.
want to go anyway, just because of being a fan. I mean, I want to see September 8th through the 10th, 2023 in Orlando. Thank you, Susan.
Susan's on it. So it is gonna be here. Oh my goodness. Wait, that's this year.
Yeah,
Alright, well, I guess we've got some work to do, well, as soon as Melanie gets back into town, I'll get her on that.
yeah, we need to get on that because Mary and I both really want to go to this one. This is with Iger back in place and he's got something to prove. This is going to be some big stuff.
You would definitely think so. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. I, uh, I mean, I've only been to one. We went to and I don't know what year it was, like, how but it was the year that, Dick Van Dyke was, wait, was he put into the Disney Legends or whatever? Uh,
Oh, okay.
all I know is that, so that would have been 2011 we were there, and, and I waited in line for 6 hours to get into the Dick Van Dyke Show, and, it was worth it. It was
Do you
100% worth it.
remember what the biggest announcement was that year? What the biggest, holy cow, I can't believe they're doing that.
Well, I do remember that, that the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train ride was, was thrown out that year, and,
That's cool.
and it was, the new ride vehicle and, and the experience that you're gonna have on this new vehicle. Yeah, that was pretty cool,
Yeah.
because, they were showing how, it was gonna move with the ride, and that was really something that was, uh that was new. It was new.
Yeah.
Nobody had seen that before.
Revolutionary. And I mean, every time I ride that ride, it's faster than I think it is. Because when you see it go around the track, it looks very slow. But when you're on it, it's
Yeah.
actually pretty zippy and it's very smooth, very comfortable. I just wish it was twice as long.
I do too. I do. I was gonna make a joke there, but I won't.
It's pretty early on the West Coast. Let's leave them alone.
Slow your roll, slow your roll. I'm almost ready to, talk a little bit about, my experience last night.
Yeah. So,
Getting pretty
um,
close.
I was gonna let everybody know. So you're kind of, we're all talking here, but he's doing a ton of work in the green room right now. I can see it on the bottom of the screen. So he's preparing pictures from dinner for everybody. I'm so excited to hear about this because I want to go.
Yeah, um
It's gonna be good.
I mean, I don't wanna spoil too much of it. I'm gonna leave some stuff out that I took pictures of for right now, because I might have some shorts, so you're gonna wanna, subscribe and come back and watch the short. I don't wanna give it all away today, um, but I do wanna go over my notes. So, um, we're gonna I'm gonna pop this up. Let's see.
Let's do
Boom.
this.
Um Yeah. So, went to Roundup Rodeo yesterday, all by myself. The first note that I will mention, this is actually another one of those where, if Disney's watching, I pretty much have the solutions for anything that you need. So, again, I just need, 100,000. Um, that's it. I mean, I think that's a measly, that's like a store manager position. But, the portions were freaking huge. for just one person at the table. Like I want to go with two because I want to see, do they bring out more when there's two people at the table, or was this really like a one person portion? Because there was so much food. It was it was ridiculous how much food that they put in front of me as one person at a table. Um,
I'm texting Mike as we speak. I'll let him know.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So if he can pass that on over there to Iger. So anyway, I do have a little bit of review, and then I'll kind of give you my overall. Um, well, let me start with the overall. This is a great restaurant. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say it's probably top three on Disney property.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give it number 1. When I first sat down and I started going, going through stuff and I'm tasting things, I was like, "Oh, hands down, number 1. Nowhere better." But as I went through the night, and I don't know if it was just I was getting full and I was like, "Oh, I really gotta just get out of here." But no, it's amazing. It's totally amazing. Top 3. It's a must do if you come into Florida. But so it starts here. These are the cheddar biscuits,
It was
and
so good.
yeah, these are delicious. I said, move over, Red Lobster. There's a new sheriff in town. Because
That's a
these are
bold statement. That's a bold statement.
they're like a Red Lobster esque biscuit, right? It's that cheddar biscuit, but they're delicious, and they got that little bit of salt. But really, what sets this off is the pepper jelly.
Really.
Oh, that pepper jelly was like it was like homemade jelly. Like this isn't like something that you pick up at the store. It was delicious, and so that made the biscuits for sure.
When Disney comes out with like a really good sauce like that or something, I wish they would sell it in jars, and they would
Right,
cost a fortune because it comes out of Disney. But can you imagine being able, like, when you find your favorite stuff, to be able to bring it home
right.
would be
Well,
so
okay.
cool.
Where do you end up at the end of every ride?
A gift shop, yeah.
Right. So why, when you have an experience like this, why isn't there a gift shop on the way out where you could get a Roundup Rodeo T-shirt? You can get all your, Woody dolls and whatnot, and you can get some pepper jelly, because that pepper jelly off the chain.
But maybe we'll have to throw that one to Luke at a spicy production. He's got a video coming out on Friday too, just so everybody knows. We got a new one done. He got a new one done, and it's amazing. But yeah, I wonder if we could get him to dissect this one for us.
Yes, we're gonna have to do that. And you know what? Well, you know what? I'm not gonna restart the show because we're only gonna go for about 30 more minutes anyway. So,
Yeah.
let's keep on keeping on here. So, yeah, the cheddar biscuits, they bring them out. They brought me two. I only ate one. Um, I was afraid. I was afraid that there was a little Disney magic in the biscuits. Like maybe there was just a little bit more soda or something in the mix to make you feel fuller. And so
Right.
I didn't want to knock out that other biscuit and then not have room for brisket. And I'm glad I didn't, because I had saved it, and when she was coming around at the end, I kind of let things go in stages. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I think I'm done with that. I'm done with that. But I held on to the biscuit until the end, and then I was like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. And you know what? They won't give you a Tupperware or a to-go box, because
Tupperware.
it's an all you care to enjoy restaurant, and so there's no taking food with you. Literally, I had enough food left on the table. I probably would have eaten here by myself, batching it for the week for 3 days.
I was going to bring that up because when we used to go to Trails End and it was all you care to enjoy family style, they bring
Mhm.
out plates of all the stuff. And, we don't eat a ton. So even though they brought out the first batch, we had a bunch left. We never had a refill. Why, if you only get the first batch, you should be able to take the rest home.
right?
It's not like
I
we ordered extra just to take it home. It was just the first batch, and they're going to throw it away. And she's, you know, so I asked, and she said, "I totally get what you're saying, but it confuses other people when they see you leave with food, and that's where
Yeah.
the problem is."
Yeah, I don't know. I might sneak in a box or something the next time I go in.
Line the inside of a purse.
Yeah, it's I am going straight up grandma on this, and we're just gonna dump plates. Anyway, so the biscuits were delicious.
They looked really good. Oh my gosh.
So, all right. So when you basically, and I don't have pictures of my salads. I don't know where. I think I took a little video of my salad, but anyway, after the biscuits, they bring out they bring out 3 salads. The first one being kind of like a romaine, normal salad. It has some oh, what, like
Oh,
cranberries,
cran
like dry,
raisins.
yeah, cran raisins in there, and it was good. I mean, it was a salad. I ate pretty much the entire salad because I was thinking I'm about to knock out a bunch of meat, and I need to make sure that I have some roughage in there as well. Um, but yeah, it wasn't bad. I gave the salad a 7. Uh, just because I think the dressing could have been just a little bit more flavorful.
Gotcha.
And I think that they could have maybe added a little bit more to the salad. Um, I know we're looking at tater tots, and I'm talking about salad.
It looks so good. I'm
I
just staring
apologize.
at the potato
Oh,
barrels.
yeah, yeah, potato barrels. So there was that salad, and then there's a watermelon salad. And I'll
Nice.
tell you, it's not quite watermelon season, but the watermelon was it was sweet. It was good. I mean, it has like some mint sprinkled on it, and it wasn't until about halfway through the meal to where I realized, like, if you have a little bit of watermelon and a little bit of mint, it takes it up a notch. So I
Sounds
gave
very
that little
refreshing.
I get yeah, it's super refreshing. It was nice to kind of have a little bite of that in between just to kind of cleanse the palate. Um, but yeah, just a skosh more mint on that dish would really top it off. Um, and then the third salad is like a tomato, cucumber, and like a purple onion or red onion mixture.
Okay.
Um, and it was good, and again, it was very refreshing, and I like the dressing on it. I think a key on, both the first, like, kinda green salad and the tomato salad is kinda mix it up because that dressing is gonna be on the bottom of that bowl. Um,
Gotcha.
but yeah, no, 7s and 8s on all the salads. Now, when it comes to the potato barrels, don't they look delicious?
Oh, they look amazing. And the I love them. I mean, it's my favorite style of potato.
Yeah. So I had a choice. They have a potato salad or they have the potato barrels. I talked to the waitress about the potato salad because I'm very picky on my potato salad. Um, I think that they missed the mark here. They probably needed to go with like an extravagant loaded potato salad, like a loaded baked potato salad with bacon
Uh-huh.
and everything. But it's not. She said it was just kind of very plain, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go with the loaded potato barrels. Or I should really have the menu up so I could tell you what these are actually called. But I'll tell you, I love tater tots. Sonic tater tots.
Yep.
Um, Woody's Lunchbox tater tots. I love their tater tots over there. These weren't loaded enough.
They
Eh,
look a little underwhelming. I mean, the
yeah.
stuff they put on the barrels look like they're cooked perfect, but
Oh,
yeah, I can
the
see.
barrels were cooked perfect. The taste was great. I mean, it was delicious. Um, I would not say that I would not have them again. I would have these again for sure. Um, but they were called loaded. Like,
Yeah, that's not loaded.
load them
That
up.
looks like, is that maybe like an aioli and a cheese sauce kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Um,
mean, they look good, but yeah, if it says loaded, I would expect more than that.
yeah, they need to have some loadedness to them.
I love the giant pencil.
Oh, shoot, oh, what am I doing? Dang it. What happened? I didn't mean that to pop up there. There, let's get back to that. I wasn't gonna I didn't wanna throw that one out, dang it. Alright, so, well, it was already there, but now I can't find it because I panicked. What happened? Anyway, yeah, the giant pencil at the end is kind of fun. That's how you sign your bill. Um, I'm not gonna give you the pro tip on that one. Just, have fun signing your bill with a giant pencil.
So I heard a rumor about that pencil, but is that part of what you want to talk about in the? Are you doing a short about that?
No. What
Because
what were you
doesn't
gonna
it
talk about?
isn't it drilled out with a pen inside?
Maybe. After you struggle with trying to sign your bill and you're like, "Oh my gosh, how? For real, how do you sign with this?" And then you realize that you can pull the pin out of the tip.
Oh, it comes out? I thought it was stuck in there. That's funny.
No pro tips here. Alright, moving on. No, the giant pencil was a cool, a cool, not gonna get that anywhere else, right?
Right.
So, this vegetable melody, a little salty, but very delicious. And now one of the things that I learned from the waitress is the seasoning that is on this vegetable medley is the same seasoning that they use on the brisket, and then there is a beverage as well that they use the seasoning on the rim.
Really?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm not big on veggies, but they look aight.
yeah, no, I probably, like I said, I mean, if I wasn't there all by myself last night and, feeling like I needed to taste everything to come and report today, I might have had a little bit more of these vegetables, because you can see the broccoli there, it's like they're flame charred, like they were done up really well. So,
Yeah, it looks
yeah,
good.
I gave these a 9, honestly.
Wow.
And this is another one of those things, like, in the gift shop at Roundup Rodeo, they could have, the pepper jelly, and they could have the rub,
Uh-huh.
because here's the thing, all right? There's 3 things that you can buy at any barbecue spot that you go to in Texas, okay?
Yep.
You can buy, any kind of, condiment jelly that they make in-house, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, you can buy, their barbecue sauces that they
Right.
specialize in, and their rubs. Those that's like standard.
Yep.
Standard whenever you go to a barbecue spot, because people eat at your place, right? Especially somewhere where you're coming from out of town, right? And then when
Uh-huh.
you go home, you wanna be able to recreate that.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, they're missing the mark on that because, yeah, that would be nice for especially I mean, there's some restaurants that it just hits and you wanna take that home with you, and people that come down here only every 2 years and miss the flavor can
yeah,
still have it. They could call Main Street Season Company and, get that ordered.
we're gonna have to figure that out. That's a good idea. Let's see. I just finally found it. So this is called campfire roasted vegetables. Um, and I totally endorse them. Um,
Nice.
yeah, you gotta, when you're eating this much protein, you got to make sure you've got the fiber in there as well.
Yeah,
Back
balance
to
it.
these are called the married spuds. The married spuds. They're newly married, I think.
So
And
what's the description on those?
loaded potato barrels.
Really, that's the description.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's not
then
loaded.
these are just the homemade cheddar biscuits. So, all right. So we're moving on. This was recommended by my waitress because you have 8 different sides that you can pick. I only tried 4 of them yesterday, and
Wow.
yeah, I was going to my intention was because she said, after you get your initial 4, when you get your refills, you can pick the other 4 if you want. And oh, welcome in subscriber 124. Hello, hello. So I chose the potato barrels because they were loaded, and the potato salad I already told you she said was kind of just, simple.
Basic. Yeah.
And, basic, yeah, I don't wanna say I don't know, I didn't taste it. I'm definitely going to try that the next time I go in. But anyway, back to this. This is the, force field fried pickles. Now, why in the world we brought Star Wars into this, I don't know.
Because of Slink.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, remember when Slink had the force field around them to protect them against the evil Dr. Porkchop?
Okay. Alright, I guess it connects. Perfect. Alright, well, whatever. Fried pickles, I mean, they were good. Um, I think that this was something that I probably need to eat a little bit um, faster while they were still hot,
Okay.
because the first one I had was really good. It was crunchy and it was hot and everything was good in the world. And then later on in dinner, like I went back to it to have another bite because I literally out of all of these sides, I had maybe 2 bites. I maybe had 4 bites of the vegetables, but, so I had my first bite, it was good, and I enjoyed it. When I came back later, they were just a little bit soggy, so they didn't hold up for 40 minutes.
Yeah, pickles are tough, but I mean, I am definitely this is going to be on the top of my list because I am a pickle fan. Last night, I was sitting watching TV at about midnight, and I went and got like 6 pickles and put them on a paper towel and brought them over to the couch and just ate pickles because I love them.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do too. There's a place in Boerne, Texas, that we used to go to, and they made like gourmet pickles, and you could get the spicy and the garlic, and yeah, I love them, love them.
That's awesome.
All right, but I did give them a 6, and I think I would have given them maybe a 7 or an 8 if I would have graded this like earlier on, like I said,
Sure.
when they first came to the table, they were great. And if you're there with a group of people, these pickles are gone. Like, I mean, because everybody's going to take one, it's going to be fine. You're going to eat them when they're nice and fresh and hot. But 45 minutes later, a little soggy, and that's when I got my phone out and started kind of grading everything. So,
Gotcha.
moving on to the mac and cheese.
Oh,
It looks delicious.
it does. I
Uh,
like those style noodles.
Yes, I do. Now, again, this is one of those things where I was like, I'm not going to eat a bunch of mac and cheese because they probably undercooked the pasta a little bit.
You have this fear of expanding food.
I do. Because they have to have tricks. Like I don't order soda. I had tea. I make sure I know how. Hey, I know how to eat. Okay, back back in the day, they all you can eat buffets. They had me on monitor, but so the mac and cheese wasn't bad. Again, it was kind of basic. I would say that this is probably more of your kid friendly food. And so I picked this only because I figured mac and cheese is kind of one of those staples. I don't really have a bad thing to say about it. Um, I will say when I use the sauce from the table, the different sauces, and kind of, spice it up myself, it
uh
it took it to the next level. So, it just
So
needs a
what's the description on this one?
um, this is, Slinky Dog mac and cheese.
I love it.
No description, just a name.
Oh, okay. So what were the little crumblies on top?
Those are goldfish.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I
So
like goldfish.
yeah, no, it was a cool little addition. Um, yeah. All right.
Crumblies is a technical term that we use in the chef industry.
Crumblies.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh man.
mm, this is where it was hitting, and I wish I would have like dove into some of those peppers, and I didn't.
Because you're afraid they're going to expand and start growing plants inside you.
No, I don't have a gallbladder, and and I already knew I was going to be hurting after this meal, and to add, ooh, call you later.
Was
Um,
that Mike?
yeah. Eisner's reaching out to me. He's like, yep, all right, I want to hire you. Although he has no authority anymore. Uh, so here's your plate of food. Um, I mean, just that is a what, an 8-inch plate bowl, 10 inch, probably 10 inch.
Looks like a pie plate.
It,
Like a
it, it
pie.
is.
Yeah.
It's a pie plate. You've got brisket, you've got chicken, you've got sausage, and then ribs. Now there were 3 or 4 ribs, I think, in there. There was probably a quarter chicken, I think,
Yeah.
in that bowl. That sausage is probably about a
Don't do it.
4 inch. I don't know what I wasn't gonna do.
There comes a sound bite. Here comes another one. I'm most looking forward to the sausage.
It was delicious, by the way. Um, and then the brisket right up front. So, I, uh, I broke this out. Broke this out. We're gonna go with the brisket first, and I actually saved the brisket to last. I think I should have gone first, and here's why. The brisket is smoked beautifully, and when I first tasted it, again, 9 years in Texas, right? So,
Uh-huh.
I've had some delicious barbecue. And I had the first bite of brisket, and I was like, "Oh no, oh no, they ruined the brisket." No, it wasn't that. It was that I had had those other meats beforehand that had like heavy spices on them,
Uh-huh.
and so when I got to the brisket, it was almost like there was no flavor, and I started to worry. And before I dumped it into the barbecue sauce to taste the barbecue sauce on it, I said, okay, I'm gonna take a step back. I think I had a piece of watermelon, and I had a drink of tea, and I kind of just let it sit there, and I came back to the brisket, and it was delicious, perfectly smoked, tender. It had flavor. You could taste that rub coming through. So I came back, and I gave the brisket a 9.
Nice.
It was delicious. Um, it the portion that they gave me was not too fatty. It had a little bit of fat for flavor,
Uh-huh.
but it wasn't overpowering at all. Definitely not overpowering. The sausage, 8 out of 10. It was a solid sausage. Um, I don't
Was
know
it
why.
spicy?
It wasn't super spicy, actually.
Okay.
Let's see, what do we call this sausage here? It's there's a sausage in my boot. It's just fire grilled pork sausage. Um, yeah, it was tasty. It
Good.
was definitely tasty, and I went back to the sausage quite a few times. I
I'm
did.
such a child. I can't help it. All right, let's
Oh,
get off the sausage.
let's get off the sausage. Moving on to the chicken, barbecue chicken with style. I don't know what the spice they use on the chicken, but honestly, I think the chicken might have been my favorite meat out of
Really?
the entire plate. Um,
That good?
yeah, it wasn't bad, and there was a little bit of white meat, a little bit of dark meat. Rail and station, welcome in. Yeah, so the chicken was really good, and, I gave the chicken a 9.5.
Wow. So, I mean, for me, chicken, 90% on whether or not I like it comes down to the skin.
Yep.
How was it? Crispy?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it had a little crisp to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was pretty good.
I can't wait.
Juicy,
So,
wasn't
while
dry.
Rob was there, he was texting saying, "We need to book our next one. Like the next one that's available, open. We need to
Yep.
go."
Yeah. Hard to get off the sausage once you're on it.
Man, this live really turned into a sausage party, didn't
This is a sausage
it?
fest. Um, all right, and then the ribs. So you would think I saved the best for last, but no, I think the chicken really was my favorite. The ribs, though, were definitely a solid 8. Like, um, I mean, what are they? Pork ribs? Uh, they're just smoked ribs, but they're small, so they must be pork ribs, like
Okay.
spare ribs. Um, but they were solid. They were obviously a long smoke on them, and they could have been a little bit more fall off the bone, but I think you get
Okay.
more with like beef ribs.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, it looks amazing. So, please tell me they have some cool desserts.
All right, I'll tell you right there.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm not a cake person, not by any stretch. There's not really a cake that I'm like I have to have. Now, I think cake tastes good, but if there's another dessert and next to cake, I'm usually going with the other dessert. Um, this is the Forky. Let's hold on. I want to get these names right.
Well, I think DC just named it. He said it's trash.
It's trash. Dessert looks like trash. This is for Lil Rider's cupcake a la Forky. So this is gooey chocolate cake, which makes the cake for me better. I like it when my cake is like there's something in the cake to make it gooey, like
Yep.
a shot of fudge or something in the cake that just makes that better. Uh, the graham cracker buttercream on top, delicious, and then
Wow.
the sugar cookie. But what sets this off? Now, again, the cake, good. The gooey chocolate middle, delicious. I would have this cupcake again a second time for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. But what sets this off is that little gummy, like worm a red thing around Forky there.
Yeah. His arms.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
When I took a bite of the cookie with that, I mean, it was like, oh, that's next level right there. So but the cake was delicious. Definitely, delicious. Um,
Thanks for stopping in Rail Station.
bye-bye. Have a great day. Yeah. Now let's see. This one is, and I think this one is the goat's apple pie.
Oh yeah, the one that's made with little bits of goat. How was that?
Um, it was solid. I don't think I have really a bad thing to say about it. I gave it an 8, but I'm kind of picky on my apple pie only because Melanie makes a really good apple pie, and using grandma's recipe for the pie dough and all that. So anytime there's an apple pie anything, I'm a little bit picky, but yeah, delicious. But it probably was number 5 on out of 5 out of the 5 choices. Um,
So I'm still confused by the name because it says goats,
yeah, I don't know.
plural, right?
It's
So
it's
it's
got to be greatest of all. Maybe.
but then there wouldn't be an S on it, and I don't remember a goat in Toy Story, and there's no bits of goat in it. So where did they come up with that? There isn't a goat in Toy Story, is there?
No lambs.
Yeah,
Oh, peeps, lambs. Yeah.
I don't know.
Um,
That one throws me for a loop every time I hear that the goat's apple pie because it would be the goat apple pie if it was the greatest of all
well,
time.
Bi are all these? I don't know, because you have lambs. I don't know. Let's move on.
Okay.
There is number 1, again, in no particular order. That right there is Bo's lemon and blueberry cheesecake.
Oh, that looks good.
At the end of dessert, that is probably, like, the most refreshing, like, top off, to the meal. It's super, like, vibrant. It's light. Yeah, it's just it's like palate cleansing almost.
Is the graham cracker at the bottom, is that just like a dust, or is that like, something you can actually scoop up a chunk of?
Yeah, all of them had that graham cracker kinda deal down there. You okay, DC, I was wondering because you have, which yep, Billy Goat Gru yep, that's exactly what it is. So,
Yeah, that must be it.
yep, Billy, and then that's the name of the desserts. So I guess Bo, is in charge of doing desserts. But,
Okay,
yeah, so all of them have that little crumble of graham cracker. I think it could be packed more, but, I mean, these are just little jars. These are
sure.
like, little, like, 3-ounce jars maybe or something like that?
I don't really like when they do that, when they give you a variety of desserts and you just grab a spoon or 2 of each and,
Yep.
sample it out. I like doing that instead of committing because every time there's like 12 desserts to choose from, I pick one and then I'm thinking about all the other ones while I'm eating the one I picked. So I like this.
Exactly, and that's what when she came to me and she's like, "Okay, so, which one would" oh, and it even says on the menu, "Choose one choice of 1 mini pie in a jar per guest," and she gave me all 5. That was so nice of her.
Wow, that's cool.
But she knew, I mean, at that point, she had saw me taking notes, and so she knew I was doing something with this.
Right. Mike called her and said, "Make sure you take care of him."
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, definitely this was delicious. Now, as far as cheesecake, I wouldn't necessarily call this a cheesecake. Um, I mean, when you think of like traditional cheesecake, but
More of like a Jello cheesecake.
yeah, it's kind of more of a maybe a
Yeah,
custardy type deal. Um,
looks
so
good.
now this was surprising, and that let's see, this one. Okay, so the other one was apple. This one is Gruff's peach strawberry pie.
Oh, okay. So Gruff. Okay, so they each have, yeah. So it all fits
Yeah,
in. Now it's making more sense. I get where the goat came from. So are those the crunchy
Bo's
pearls?
lemon. Yep, Billy's. Oh, and oh shoot, that's the picture I don't have. Yeah, well, I'll have them all there. So this right here initially was probably my favorite dessert until I got to the cheesecake. So I the cheesecake was the last one that I tried, and this one right here is a peach strawberry. I didn't
Oh,
I've never had a peach strawberry dessert before. And there are chunks of peaches and chunks of strawberry in this dessert. It was delicious. Um, I would definitely go back to this one again.
yeah. Those are pearls in the bottom?
I think it's the same kind of deal. Um, but this is the plant friendly one. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that looks
the
good.
or not plant friendly. I'm sorry. This is like the vegan vegetarian
Vegan
option.
friendly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vegan. So, and then I had one more picture, and we're gonna be wrapping it up here, but, so there they are, all 5 of the desserts. The one that I didn't have a single picture for, which I know I do somewhere, I just obviously didn't grab it, I guess, is the, chocolate. It's the, Billy's chocolate silk pie. Uh,
Ooh, yeah.
and, I would definitely have that one all by itself and a cup of coffee. Um It was rich, it was creamy, it was flavorful, it was delicious. So,
Nice. Well,
there
excellent job doing that for us, and I cannot wait to. Now I'm starving, but I cannot wait to join you and do that experience because I am so ready for that. I'm always ready for anything new Disney, but especially when it's barbecue. Let's do this.
Yeah. And the experience that, obviously, I mean, it's Disney. So I mean, the food is kind of like secondary to your experience that you have there, right?
Uh-huh.
And so for them to have, and this is why I put it in the top three, to have, food that I would I would go to a restaurant, locally, not in the park, to enjoy this food. And I've been looking for some barbecue in Florida that I can call like my barbecue spot, and I think I found it. Like, I think this
That's
is my
cool.
this is my barbecue spot right there. Now, you can't roll through the drive-through and, get a little brisket taco or something, but, so it's not super convenient because you gotta make reservations and and all of that.
Yeah.
But, no, I think the food, is on par. It's good. So
So speaking of the experience, so do they just play "You've Got a Friend in Me" on loop for the whole time you're in there?
nope, I didn't hear that song not one time the entire night.
Wow.
Yeah. No, they
So I
they've
mean,
got
what were they playing in there?
I mean, they've got, kind of, uh, the frontier, wagon train type. I'm not gonna call it country. It's not country music. It's kind of, home on the range kind of music.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, My Great West.
Yeah. So that was the ambiance, but then throughout you've got, like, ambient sounds, like, because this whole thing, you're in the toy box, right? You're
Uh
you're
huh.
you're kinda you're a toy, which comes, I mean, I'm sure most people that, have heard of the restaurant know that, at certain times, they do the whole Andy's coming, right? And so
Uh
it's
huh.
not like when Toy Story Land opened up and a guest would shout it, and then, the cast members would fall down. They prep you. So when you're on your way to your table, they tell you, "Okay, Sarge is gonna," I think that's what they said, is gonna come, "We'll let you know when Andy's coming." And then, you gotta freeze. And it's pretty cool how they do it. I'll post a short, later today that I took, and so you can see, kind of the experience. I wouldn't say that it's a spoiler alert. I mean, it's just kind of fun. Um,
Cool.
yeah, and, and it's amazing that the guests participate as much as they do. You're watching the little kids, and they're kinda squirmy a little bit,
Uh,
but, the guests do a pretty good job.
that's cool. I can't wait to do that because I have seen a short video of somebody that did that, and yeah, the one that I saw, everybody was rock solid. Like everybody wants to do a good job. So that's cool.
I even saw a guest, like, strike a pose, like
Yeah.
like, they were sitting there just having a good time, and then, when it happened, they were like they, like, threw a hand up. I'm like, "Alright, well, I mean, if you wanna hold your hand up there, I guess that works." So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely the guest freeze during that. I will be interested to see if there's more added over time. Uh, Now I was in there for a little over 2 hours.
Holy cow.
I closed down the park and some. So the park last night closed at 10 o'clock. My reservation was at 8:20. I didn't get in until probably 8:45, and I was walking out of the park at a little after 11.
Holy cow.
So, and I told the girl, and she's like, "Hey, you stay here as long as you want." Because, I mean, literally, I mean, the one thing we didn't talk about, it's $45 per adult.
That's not
Um,
bad.
and which is not bad for an all you care to enjoy. I mean, especially with the experience that you have, going along with it. But, $45. But they put so much food in front of me, and I really felt guilty, like, not eating it, like so much waste. That is the part that I would say it needs to be remedied somehow.
Yeah.
Like they don't really need to bring you all four meats at once. Like bring me let me choose like two meats, right? And then let's see how that goes. And maybe I want to try the other two meats, or maybe I want to just get, a little bit more brisket. Because I really felt guilty about kind of throwing out that much food.
Yeah.
I hope they do something with that food that it doesn't just go in the garbage. Like it's got to go to composting, or it's got to go to Animal Kingdom to feed, and I don't know, something.
They
Um,
save it for tomorrow's guests. They
uh,
just rinse it off.
I mean, that would be fine too. Something. I felt bad wasting that much food. So she was totally cool. She was like, "You sit here for as long as you would like," and I was like, "I'm closing this place down." I was hoping that I would be there long enough that they would just bring me a box.
Yeah, right.
That they would
I'm the
walk.
only one in here. I won't tell anybody.
But, I did get a little bit of footage leaving, because there wasn't a lot of people left in the restaurant. I mean, there was a little bit. There was probably about 6 groups that were left in the restaurant when I left. When I got there, it was packed. There wasn't an empty table. So
That looks amazing. Thank you for doing that because I know that's the hardest part of your job.
yeah, it was rough.
Cool.
It was rough.
Yeah.
Actually, this morning was more rough than last night. I woke up and, "Oh, what did I do?
Food hangover.
Too old for this."
Right. Yep. Well, I mean, we actually ran a little longer than we expected, and
Yeah.
because it was just a good subject, and now I'm starving. But I know you've got to get off to school, and I don't have the other screen, so I think everybody in here knows what we're all about, and that we have treat company and park hopper choppers and all that stuff. So I don't think we need to kill them with that today.
Nah.
Um, but thank you guys for being in here with us, and we've got some stuff. I've been in SeaWorld a lot recently, and I've been sending some footage. So you're going to see some shorts from that. I got some really cool stuff from the dolphin show yesterday. So keep an eye out for those, and we'll be talking about that at some point. And once I get the studio over here, we're going to be in a lot better shape. I know that we're still in the learning process of doing this show, but once things get set up a little bit more, it'll be a much more quality show with more information. We're going to have more
Wait,
news.
wait,
We're
wait, wait.
just,
This is a quality show.
is it?
It's gonna be higher quality.
It is a show of quality. We're just not saying what quality.
There is a level of quality to this show.
There is. We're just not willing to put a number on that.
Uh,
No, no. Thank you guys for being in here. You got anything else, Rob? You're heading off to school, right?
I am. No, but I'm excited for Friday because Luke's video. We are going to be covering your SeaWorld footage and talking about SeaWorld. And yeah,
Yeah,
that's about
it's
it.
going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to talk about SeaWorld. I've got a lot to say about it, and
Friday's all you, baby. It's all
oh
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
You're going to be here too, though, right?
I might show up, but yeah, I'll pop in.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
All right
All
then.
right, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Chris, and I'm not wearing any pants.
And have a great day.